What's up? I'm Royce, and welcome to my channel where I talk about all things film and tech related. And last week I had the opportunity to go to CES 2025, and it's the big electronic expo where they showcase all the new tech that's coming out within the next year, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes never. There's a lot of concepts there. But this year I was really focused on film related tech that can help in any part of the filmmaking process, whether that's the production or post-production side with editing, managing data, and things like that. And Satechi had announced a little bit before the show their new stand-in hub, so I immediately checked to see if they were going to be there. And since they were one of the first companies that I went straight to their booth. And before I even get into the hub, their setup was really awesome. They had all their other products. They make, a bunch of different hubs and wireless chargers, charging stands for your phone, your watches. And now they're really getting into a bunch of Find My accessories like passport cases, wallets. And one of the things they told me while I was at their booth was they're really focused on expanding their color options, which I thought was really cool because, I'm always down for the nice, like gray, sleek look, the pro look, is a lot of companies like to say. But seeing those other color options, you're kind of like, ooh, because my favorite color is blue. So obviously anything in blue, I'm like, I might need to get that. Now getting into the stand and hub itself, I really do think Satechi has a really nice product here. They really paid attention to the design details. It's really designed to be specifically paired with the Mac Mini M4, which is not a big surprise because they have done that with previous Mac Mini models in the past. And this one is no different, aside from a nice little trick that it has up its sleeve, because in the back of this stand-in hub, they made a nice little cutout that creates easy access to the power button of the Mac Mini M4. Yes, the design aspect of the computer that most people were really confused about. Is it a big deal? Personally, for me, not really. I leave my Macs on and rarely turn them off, but for those who do, it is annoying to pick up your Mac Mini, tilt it, whatever, especially when you have a lot of cables plugged in. And if those cables are iffy, they can easily be unplugged or things like that that can mess up your process. And you definitely don't want to do that when drives and stuff like that are plugged in. So yeah, it just gets rid of that problem altogether. So I do think that was a really smart choice to include that because we have seen kind of the buzz that was made from that Mac Pro stand for the Mac Mini M4 that, turns it on its side so it sits there like that, which creates that easy access for the power button. Now, the way the hub plugs into the Mac Mini is through an integrated USB-C hub that's nicely hidden and stored at the bottom of the hub itself. And once it's plugged into the back port of your Mac Mini M4, you now get access to 3 USB-A ports in the front, an SD card slot, and even an NVMe slot. And what's cool about that NVMe slot is it can fit the 2280, 60, 42, or 30 SSD sizes. As it's labeled on the front of the hub, the 2 middle USB-A ports are 10 gigabit ports, leaving the last one on the right being a USB-A 2.0 port. And that card reader on the front is SD 4.0 or SD UHS-2 if you want to get fancy with it. And also the NVMe slot on the bottom is also 10 gigabit speeds. Now let's break that down for people who might not be too familiar with those labels. Whenever you hear 10 gigabits a second, the important thing to remember when it comes to data transfer speeds, that usually means that that data is going to get capped at 1200 megabytes a second. So those 2 USB-A ports in the front, those 10 gigabit ports, those are going to give you transfer speeds up to 1200 megabytes a second. And the USB-A 2.0 port on the right is capped at 60 megabytes a second. So that one's definitely not meant for any high-speed data transfers, but more for, any legacy peripherals that you might have that you want to plug in to your Mac Mini that still uses that USB-A port. And that SD 4.0 slot means it can handle fast SD cards up to 312 megabytes a second. And same with that NVMe slot in the back, since it's 10 gigabits a second, your data is going to get capped at 1200 megabytes a second. So if you're looking to expand your storage or get the same or similar speeds as your Mac Mini's internal SSD, you won't be able to do that in this instance. And I think these speeds are perfectly fine for what this hub is because it's not labeled as a Thunderbolt hub. Satechi has their own Thunderbolt hub options that you guys can look at if that's what you're interested in. But I think this product is more so just designed to, one, fit the look of your Mac Mini, give easy access to the power button, and just give you access to, legacy USB-A plugs that you may have or still use. And, because Apple's all in on USB-C and they don't give that option. So it's just nice to have. And on top of that, you still have access to 2 of your Thunderbolt ports in the back and your USB-C ports in the front. But I guess you could say that could be a con to this product, is that plugging it into the back, you will lose one of your Thunderbolt ports. And if you're, someone who's Thunderbolt crazy, and need those speeds and need all those ports, maybe this might not be the product for you, or you may have to look at getting another Thunderbolt hub to compensate for that. Because usually with these hubs, even if they offer, older USB-A ports on them, they will typically still have one USB-C plug in there to kind of compensate for the one that they're taking on the actual computer, which I still don't think is a big deal because let's talk about price. Satechi's stand-in hub for the Mac Mini M4 is going to cost $99.99, and it's going to be released sometime in the spring of this year. For what this product offers, I feel like that's a good price point because with these hubs, they can get expensive. And I do like the integrated USB-C plug that it has that you could just hide at the bottom of the hub. And with the included NVMe slot, it's important to think about the price of just getting an SSD for the hub versus trying to upgrade your Mac Mini M4 from Apple themselves. For example, you can get a 1 TB drive from Crucial for $65 versus paying Apple $400 for the same amount of storage. Now take those $65 and add in the price for Satechi's hub, and you're still coming at half of the price of upgrading through Apple's website. Now you can make the argument that Apple's internal SSDs will run faster than Satechi since it's capped at those 1200 megabytes a second. But again, for this use case, I feel like that really doesn't matter because what you're going to use this for, this is perfect. It's fast enough and it's going to do what you need it to do. Now, at the time of this video, the M4 stand-in hub is not available to order yet, but you can sign up to be notified on Satechi's website whenever it does drop. I really do think there's a lot to like about this product and the simplicity of it, design-wise and peripheral-wise, right? They could have packed a bunch of different features and things like that, but I don't think the design would have been able to stay the same or as simple. And trust me, experiencing it, getting able to hold it in my hands, like it's just still crazy how small it is, obviously because the Mac Mini M4 is small. So again, I think what they packed into this little product is actually really great. And I think it's going to be a great option for a lot of people. And again, you are losing one Thunderbolt port in the back. So if that's important to you, you might want to look at Satechi's other Thunderbolt options. Also, I think every creator can agree that whenever you throw an SD card into the mix, especially a fast SD card reader, people are going to be happy. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of Satechi's new Mac Mini M4 stand-in hub and if you think it can work with your workflow. I definitely plan on getting one when it eventually comes out. And so when that does, I'll definitely do a review and share my thoughts with you guys. And that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe for more film and tech related content. And until next time, I'll catch y'all later.